Hi, I'm Peter Brusso for 101marketingpodcast.com here with my co-host Richard Bentley. Dick, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about you, Peter?
Good. This is round two. We just did one of these and I forgot to record the darn thing. So here we go again. Well, it was good practice.
Yeah, it was dress rehearsal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So, hey, what I wanted to do today was just to show the competitive analysis process for people. And let me go share screens with you. And I have a Excel spreadsheet here on competitive analysis, and one of the things that I've done, and this is for a particular personal injury attorney, a client of mine, I went through and I essentially did a matrix here, but there's an index of color. I put a number one for red, so I can sort these when I want to. Direct competition, the rate, in other words, the color shows that they're highly competitive. Green is no issue at all. Yellow is a possible. And of course, then the name of the law office, the URLs, the location, practice areas, keywords when they have them, social media videos. I put in notes, my WooRank, which is a website that I subscribe to take a look at their websites in particular, etc. And you can see here that I've got 20 of these guys to try to get a understanding of what we're up against. And from that standpoint, you draw these conclusions, which the first one is a video is a must for the site. There's no question about that. They have one in here. They have one in here that this Bergener Law. Let me go over to that and show you that website. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's crazy good's what it is. And they're the number one. I thought, let me see, where were they here? Actually, I think I might already have them still out here. And yeah, here we go. Let me go back to their first page. And they have a very powerful chunk of video here in the front.
Before I founded Bergener and Associates, I'd worked at other firms. I saw what they did well, and I saw what they did poorly. I knew I could do better. So I used those experiences to create an exceptional firm centered on improving people's lives.
I've worked with other attorneys, and I can tell you, James is a real champion of justice for accident victims. He puts his heart into every case and is a believer in your case as a cause, not just as a day's work.
Now, see, that's so important. They understand that the benefits sell and features don't, and they're just heaping the benefits on you and in a video. And people, of course, like to watch rather than read. And you can see there's text here and stuff like that. So,
Right.
this is in spades what they want. What you want to do is have video on that front page all the time, anyway. And so, from that standpoint, when we came down to the conclusions from the competitive analysis, video was the number one hard-hitting thing that we needed to incorporate. Out of the 20 competitors, only 50% use social media. I was really surprised at that, and only 10% of them were real users of social media. And what I mean by that is that, of course, and you know this to be true too, if you post once every 3 or 4 months, that's really not using social media. Need to be posting weekly and bi-weekly, or more than once per week to really
Yeah.
be a hard
Right.
social media user. About 50% of them had video, but only 10% of them were any good. No one had any podcasts whatsoever, so that really opens up an opportunity for this particular group of people.
Right.
And then we have blogs. Only 10% of them had any on-site blogs at all, or off-site for that matter. I was surprised with that. No one used any kind of keyword matched scheme, matched URL scheme. Let me jump over here. Here's some direct match URLs that we were going to go after. Personalinjuryattorneyindio.com. And again, you have to remember that the matched URLs actually come out of Market Samurai. Let me head over there, bounce around a bit here. But as I was looking at the keywords for people, and this keyword is for mentoring. A keyword has to have these three attributes. One, they have to be popularly searched. So I did a filter for have to be 50 words searches a day or more for this particular keyword. And then this is the competition value, and I didn't lay in the competition, but you have to have less than 150. You have to have 150,000 or below in competition web pages to compete against them and stuff like that. So, but out of this was interesting. So, did anybody have mentoring? For that particular keyword, these are the websites in the top 10 position for that particular keyword. And you look here closely, then the number 2 position is mentoring.org. And our keyword again was mentoring. So mentoring.org obviously took the number 2 position, and it only has it has 28,000 backlinks. The number 1 position has over 1 million backlinks, and you're not going to compete with a Wikipedia, mentorship.
No.
That's just they're always going to be in that slot, so to speak. But as you walk down through this, there's a mentor.html. Mentors, so it's very clear. Here's again a second listing of mentor.org. So if you can get your keyword and get a URL with that keyword in it, you can stand a real good chance of being up here, almost regardless of what all this data on the right has to say. Yeah. So in the conclusion for our particular guide, I showed that nobody used any matched URL strategies whatsoever, and then half of the ones I looked at had no keywords identified whatsoever. That's crazy. 7 of the websites really didn't have a good marketing strategy, and no one out of all of them had a mobile site. Can you believe that?
Not in this day and age. It doesn't seem possible.
That's crazy. With 170 million users, and particularly for a personal injury attorney, when somebody gets hurt and they're in the hospital and get mad, they're going to want to go get that person. So they're going to be looking with their smartphone, and if you have to expand and contract and move all over and try to work these websites are kind of hostile to mobile devices. That's not a good marketing strategy.
No.
I don't think. And then the strongest competitors, they all had really solid Woo ranks, and Woo rank is one of those things that I subscribe to. Here's woorank.com, and you can really go take a look at websites and how strong they are, what technologies you use. And this particular one is out of the average score is 50. This is 38 for this particular client or potential client. And you can see, you walk down through here, they're really lacking in their social media uses. They don't have a Twitter account. And this is their mobile rendering, and so you can kind of walk your way down through this stuff and see what's important. Their HTML to text to HTML ratio is low, and what that ultimately means, which is nice about WooRank. You can click on these and see what's going on. What that really means, they didn't have an on-site blog, which I can't believe they don't have an on-site blog. Or an off-site blog for that matter. Backlinks counter down to 9. Index pages is only 2. That's something wrong with that big time, because they have at least 5 pages, and so Google can't see it. It might mean that they have some HTML problems as well. So WooRank is one of those other things that I certainly do fold into the whole look of what we're up against. And the very serious is a very serious competitive space. Ultimately, is what I've came down to the conclusion that video and exact match landing pages, podcasting, a good blog, excellent keywords, and a mobile site should put this gentleman really in dominating that space on the web. So, interesting tool, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's very comprehensive analysis that you do. Using some software programs, but you also must you have to do a lot of your own personal data gathering and analysis also, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a judgment call for sure.
Yeah.
But some of the data just jumps right out at you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very clear. And I mean, had you been running right alongside of me looking at this data on these sites, some of these videos are just junk.
Yeah.
And all about them. It's not about. They're not using the fact that benefits sell and
Yeah.
features don't. They don't
No.
understand that stuff.
Right.
And but that one law firm from Huntington Beach was kicking it. They really knew how to powerfully put video on every page. And,
Yeah.
people like to watch video. They don't like to read.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It just strikes me as as a essential marketing tool for businesses to use, especially obviously those that are depending on their website to drive business and drive leads and get the word out to new potential clients. But also it could really, it's really the Bible of your overall business marketing strategies and plans and ideas, because you develop that the way you have there.
Mm-hmm.
And you've really developed your mission statement for your company, your marketing strategy for your company, the directions for your employees, so they understand what direction you're trying to go in. Prospective clients can really get a tremendous flavor for what your company's about. So I mean, that one tool that you're using here to develop is the backbone of, in my mind, of especially entrepreneurs and small to medium sized companies that don't have huge departments to do all this for them.
Yeah, I started doing this back in the 1999 era. This was when the web was just starting to get cranking, but the ability to understand where you are against your competition is vital today.
Right. Absolutely. I'm not sure what business guru said this, but he said if you don't know where you want to go, you're never going to get there.
That's
And
true.
and this to me says, here's where I want to go, and here's how I'm going to go about getting there, and here's my measurements, and it spells it all out, so you have a clear vision.
I mean, just if you think about a restaurant, for example, and you take a 10-mile radius of that restaurant, look up every restaurant, and then go see, are they using Groupons? Do they have happy hours? What are their menu prices? All of that stuff from a competitive analysis standpoint.
Oh,
I don't think
absolutely.
anybody does this very much.
I agree with you. I don't think they do either. I think people say, okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and I'm going to have a website, and I'm going to do social media, and I'm going to just conquer the world. And they wake up 6 months later, bankrupt and out of business,
Yeah.
because they haven't planned it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're going to pass this around to our entrepreneurial friends and get them thinking about, gee, they better do a competitive analysis for their own space as well.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that'll give them a chance to see, how to market themselves better. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, a bunch of good
Well,
stuff there.
it's a tool that allows you to differentiate yourself from your competitors, and that's critical in business.
Yeah, it's also a great tool to make sure you're not blindsided.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I met
Yeah.
so many people. Well, I didn't know that they offered all of that, or
Right.
I didn't know that they did that
Yeah.
for that price,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Absolutely.
You got to know that stuff. So,
Yeah.
well, okie dokie, Dick. Thanks for being on the podcast with me.
It's my pleasure. One of the reasons I really enjoy being around you, other than you're a good friend, is every time we talk, I learn something new, and I've learned a lot new this morning. Thank you.
All right, Dick. I'll talk to you later then.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks.